Right, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Notice ones with the headphones on went that was a bit loud, so give me a thumbs up if it's about the right volume if you've got headphones on. Good. I'll keep it to that. You do look good with the headphones. Thank you for making the choice to come and attend this presentation today. My name's Brendan Abbott. I'm from Experian. I'm here to tell you about what market industry leaders think around third-party data. So the title is Rethinking Third-Party Data Across the Customer Lifecycle. And I'm going to tell you the views of other people and thank some contributors. Now, there is some takeaway homework for you. You can download a white paper. And also, I'm supposed to tell you that we have a stand here and tell you where that is, but it's really easy. It's there. That guy stood in front of the big pink background is the guy that you can ask questions to after the content. So today's about introducing the content. There is a download that you can take, but first and foremost, what I want to do is thank the contributors. So this is contributors to a white paper that we've produced around rethinking third-party data across the customer lifecycle. And it's really good to be able to present the views of people like Nestle, Finecast, Low2Me, Samsung TV, among others. So I just wanted to say thank you to those that contributed to the content. I'm the guy that gets to take the glory. These are the ones that did the hard work. So if you are savvy and you've got your phone out already and you can scan the QR code, you can download the white paper and be able to read through the detail afterwards. If you're not that quick off the hook with your phone, don't worry, I'm going to put that back up at the end. So I'll just give it a second for anyone that's trying to scan it. If not, we will move on and I'll put it back at the end, which means you've got to stay till the end. So what we're going to cover, well, we're going to be making the case for third-party data, so three-dimensional third-party data, why it's important. Now, one of the things to point out, and I'll say this again and again, is third-party cookies and third-party data are different. So just have that in mind. I'm sure you've heard it in some of the other presentations. Remixing the marketing data mix. So my company sells third-party data. What I'm not going to do is tell you that third-party data is the answer. The answer is to be able to use first, second, and third-party data together in the right mix in order to create the recipe that your business likes. We're going to talk about making the most of marketing's sphere of influence, and we're going to talk about some innovation, some trends in what's coming next for third-party data. So let's crack on. Some of you will know what this is, but just in case there's a definition required, first-party data, second-party data, third-party data. What does it all mean? Well, quick definition, so first-party data is data that you collect from your customers directly. So they're your customers, you collect their data, that is first-party data. Second-party data, really, really easy, it's second-hand first-party data. So if you are selling or collaborating with another organisation on data that you've collected as first-party data, that is defined as second-party data. Third-party data is different. Third-party data is demographic data, research data that's collected by a third party, not your organisation, and that is collected not necessarily from your customers, it's looking at the market or the population as a whole, rather than just specifically those customers that you have. So, let's get into making the case for third-party data. So why is it important that we have third-party data in marketing? There's this thing called the internet, and the internet is well known by everybody, and it has two major features to it, from a marketing perspective that is. It is the most measurable marketing medium ever. So when the internet emerged, everybody got very excited because we can measure stuff. And marketers like to measure things, and then we all get focused on we need more return on investment, more efficiency. So the internet is great for that because we can get those features from it. But from a consumer perspective, and actually from us that work in the industry, it is also the most opaque in terms of how it works. So you'll often get people saying, well, why do I get served those ads on the internet, particularly in social media? And the answer is often the algorithms. Yeah? This mystical beast that exists that determines how things work. And consumers are starting to get familiar with this stuff, right? So they're starting to go, I get ads served to me, and some of those ads are cool. I like those ads, and some of them are a little bit creepy. So they're a little bit concerned about how the internet works. Now, if as marketers we can't understand it, how on earth are the consumers going to understand it? And that links to consumers being a little bit concerned about data and how it's used on the internet. And that's led to privacy concerns. So it's led to the removal of third-party cookies, because powerhouses like Google, like Apple, have said it's really important that consumers trust us and they'll use our platforms and our products and our services with absolute trust. And there's been worry about third-party cookie data, so this has led to a decline in third-party cookie data. I'm not telling you something you don't know, you know this stuff already. However, the demise of that is slightly slower than it was before, and that meant that there was a rush away from third-party data. We can't use third-party cookies anymore, so we don't use third-party data. That's not true, and the Internet Advertising Bureau, the IAB, when there was a policy that was coming out to remove third-party cookies, they did a survey. So they surveyed, intelligent industry-leading people, and found that 50% of people said, well, if third-party cookies are retired, there will need to be an alternative. We need something different. And that's half of marketers were saying that there needs to be an alternative. So, why is it still important? Why is third-party data important? Let's look at what it can do for you. So, third-party data allows you to expand your audiences. It allows you to target people that are not your customers. You can make a connection between who your customers are and the rest of the population. So it allows you to do that stuff. It allows you to enrich those customer profiles so you can really understand who your customers are away from their name and address data, their transaction data. You can understand who they are demographically, what they think and feel using some research data, where they live, where they reside, where they go. You can get all of these things that give you a much richer understanding of your first-party data. So using third-party data and first-party data together gives you a real rich understanding. It links into market research. So if you want to understand what are the industry trends in a particular market, you can do so using third-party data. You can understand your competitors. One of the most interesting things we do as a business is we go and meet an organisation and we show them demographically who their competitors are getting in their customer audiences. Really, really exciting. So it allows you to be nosy and understand what you don't know. And it allows you to look at that trend analysis that's happening over time, particularly in terms of technology and economy changes, which we've seen significantly over the last few years. And third-party data allows that test and validation, so it allows you to test out new things, new recipes that you might like for your marketing mix, and validate those. And most excitingly, so third-party cookies are gone, but third-party data will still allow you to be able to link cross-device and cross-channel, which is really, really important from an agency perspective, because that's where agencies are focusing on, is they want to be able to exist for the audience, not the channel. I'll come on to that a little bit more in detail. Don't take my word for it. So this is Alison Harding from Low2Me, an industry specialist in a major platform that operates digital advertising. And what she said is that first-party data is the engine, but you need the other components to make it work. You need third-party data to model out your first-party data. So what does she mean by that? Well, so what she's saying is that advertisers still need third-party data to make campaigns effectively. They can get a really rich understanding of who their customers are, but they need that to say who their customers are. Who are the lookalikes that are similar to their customers? So just looking into what you should do, so three things really. You should use all of the data sets that are available to you. So first-party data, second-party data, and third-party data, all in combination. And if you do that, you'll get this solid foundation in order to understand who you've got as customers and who you don't have. What is the market opportunity, the market potential? Think of any location. So how many of your customers are within a 20-minute radius or 20-minute drive time of a particular location? That's what third-party data can do for you. And using that geography in digital advertising, really, really important to get these things working. Just going to summarise, we've talked about the contributors. They effectively came from major brands, major advertising agencies, and major tech providers. So I'm just going to talk about what was important to them. So we did a lot of research with them and drilled it down into these are their priorities. So the brands are looking for these three things. They want consistency and reliability. So they want to be able to trust the data that they're using. They want to be able to have consistent data for each campaign that they're working. They're working with multiple different products in different markets. They want to have consistency across those. They want scale and scope, so they want to be able to scale this in every place that they operate. And that's particularly interesting where brands are international, where they want to operate in multiple countries, they want to be able to scale this, and they want to be able to do it in an efficient way. And finally, they want to make quick, better decisions, so they want that accelerated decision making, they want to be able to do those things. What do the agencies want from data? So agencies want to be able to do effective planning. Their budgets are being constrained because we're all being asked to be more efficient. So they want to be more effective in the planning that they do. And if they can use third-party data at the outset, they can do so because they can make their planning more effective by using more ingredients in the recipe that they've got. And they want to optimize campaign performance. So they want to improve things as the campaign runs, and third-party data will allow them to do that in conjunction with the first-party data. They'll get that sort of test and learn. And they want to get valuable insights and continuous improvement from it. The tech platform, so Low2Me, Finecast, Samsung TV, Sky AdSmart, all of those are operating the advertising on behalf of us. They want to maximize first-party data, and in order to do that, they want to use it in conjunction with third-party data. So they want to use those two things together. And they want to enhance the reach and engagement. They want to make sure that when campaigns are going through their technology, that they've got the reach and the scale, and that they get engagement and they can measure those things effectively. So that cross-device, cross-channel measurement is really important for the tech platforms. And they want to address targeting challenges. So think of consumer brands. Nestle don't have a direct relationship with their customer. They have that through retailers. But if they're trying to launch some activity through a tech platform, they need to be able to understand who their customers are without having that necessary targeting ingredients to do it. And that's where third-party data plays a really important part. So, I said, what's next for third-party data? Well, these are the trends that we're seeing that's coming out in the industry right now. The first and foremost one, and you'll hear if you've been in this theatre, lots of stuff around data protection, privacy. It's really important to focus on transparency. So this works if consumers feel that they are getting benefit out of the way that their data is used. And I came back to marketing measurement for the internet, but it only works if we understand it and we trust it, right? So, we will opt out of using these things if it's creepy. It's got to be cool. We've got to see ads that we go, that's really convenient and really targeted for me, but it can't be creepy. It can't be using data in a way that feels like our privacy's been intruded on. So advertisers, agencies, consumers stand to benefit from new combinations of first and third-party data. That's what it's got to do. But transparency is critical to public acceptance. And what Experian's done is we've launched a consumer information portal. So for those of you that are marketers, you will go, I understand, a preference centre. That's what we've fundamentally got for the UK population, is a preference centre for them to understand how their data is captured and used as a third-party data asset. And if they don't want it to be used, they can opt out. So that's really, really important that we've invested significantly in transparency and making sure that the consumers have got a choice. And you can all do that. You can all visit this site, have a look and decide how your data is used and whether you want it to be used. And I think you will if you go, actually, that's cool, but not creepy. Agencies. So I talked about some of the agencies, and we're fortunate to work with some of the biggest advertising agencies in the world. There's a trend towards people-led campaign planning. So traditionally, it's been very much about channels, optimizing the channels, optimizing for reach and clicks. But actually now, they're focusing more on people-led campaign planning, and that's what the key agencies have been telling us. So instead of really just focusing on the channel, they're creating any campaign to exist for an audience, and it's really important that they can have that cross-device, cross-channel measurement that works effectively for them. So they're going, actually, this campaign is important for those. And somebody raised this just this week, is actually there's an efficiency angle to this, right? So if you can put your advertisements in front of the right audience, you reduce wastage. But there's also a sustainability element to this as well. So, advertising uses a lot of energy, and if that energy is not spent effectively, then you're not making that efficient. So there's a sustainability angle, which is really interesting, that actually wastage is really important, both from an advertising budget perspective, but also from a sustainability perspective. Data clean rooms. So if you are going to be collaborating on using data with third parties, then a data clean room is a fundamental way to do that. So they're continuing to grow in importance because it will allow you a way in order to be able to share data in a secure and compliant way without actually sharing the personal information that's associated with it. So data clean rooms like Amazon, Snowflake, many others, are becoming much more prevalent and much more used in this industry for third-party data. I touched on CPG brands earlier, and they are looking beyond retail partnerships. So brands like Nestle found, certainly within the pandemic, that their reliance on retail channels was strained. It was difficult for them, and what they've done is they've never had a relationship directly with their customer, so they would use retailers with big loyalty programs to understand who their customers are. So those retailers could monetize those data assets, but the CPG brands are now saying, actually, we want to understand our customers directly. We can't have a reliance on retail channels where sometimes those retailers are finding trading difficult and are going out of business. And if they go out of business, we may lose our relationship with those customers. So they're wanting to have a direct relationship. So they spend a lot of money on research. They're combining that with third-party data in order to understand who their customers are and try and create more of a direct relationship with them. One of the final points in terms of how third-party data is innovating and emerging, and this is really recent, so it's about linking consumers' journeys for major purchase decisions. So think of a major purchase decision that you've made, so maybe buying a car. There is multiple interactions that you do. You'll go through stages of researching, shortlisting, and sampling the product. So from a car, reading some reviews, deciding which ones you're thinking about, and then going and doing a test drive. And as part of that journey, you will do multiple interactions on multiple different devices, and you're very likely to have more than one person involved in the purchase decision. So I would do the initial sort of research and shortlist, and then my wife will be deciding which vehicle that we're going to buy. And that's the right thing because she's going to make the better decision. But we will interact with BMW in this case on the screen, and we will use different devices and we'll make different purchase decisions. Now, linking that stuff together means that they can understand that path to purchase. And Experian, these guys over on the pink stand, have recently launched a product called Consumer Sync. And that allows businesses to be able to link together cross-device, cross-channel without using third-party cookies. So it's really innovative and really exciting. And if you want to know how that works, then give these guys a shout. I talked about international earlier, and it's increasing. This is not going away, is that people want consistent data over multiple countries. So they want to be able to expand into different regions, different territories, and operate in a consistent way. And that's really important. We've got a retailer that works with us on consistent data set for 92 countries. So they get to be able to make exactly the same decisions, whether they're in Amsterdam or Zapopan. It's exactly the same data set that they're using. So consistent global data that allows them to understand demography, the market research, the penetration across multiple different countries, which is really interesting. Now, my job is to tell you some stuff, and I want you to download the white paper. If you take one thing away from today, it's to be able to download the white paper. One thing to remember is that third-party cookies is not third-party data. They are different, and if you read the white paper, you will understand more in terms of what I've said. But hopefully, you've got some sort of expectation that there is a need for third-party data, and are interested to find out more. I need to plug it because that's what we paid for. So Experian can definitely help you with these things. I've tried to streamline it down to 3 things, and I'll leave this on screen for a second. So we can help you understand who your customers are, we can help you with international data, and we can help you with a marketing identity solution. Please feel free to scan any of the QR codes and link to the website. And if you can't or you want more information, go and see the guys across here on stand A60. So we can help you with that deeper understanding of your customers, make more effective decisions about international growth, and achieve addressability of scale without reliance on third-party cookies, which I think is a great offering to have and something I'm very proud of. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to leave on screen now the QR code to download that white paper. And yes, I am getting commission for every download, so thank you very much. And they will pay me in terms of Suzuki crisps, which I found in Greece on my holiday last week. So yeah, please do download the white paper. Thank you so much for your attention. If anyone's got any questions, shout now or come across to the stand. Thank you very much.